I think it's safe to say that at this point, the experience of sitting down on your phone, scrolling on social media for hours to the point of feeling depressed and anxious and insecure is a universal experience. We've all experienced it. Like, my grandma has experienced it. And I don't even know if she knows how to send an email, but somehow she knows how to doom scroll. It's kind of a miracle, honestly, that she figured that out. Like, that feels advanced. But unfortunately, she figured out something that I wish she didn't figure out, because doom scrolling is one of the most miserable experiences of life today. I mean, there are more miserable experiences, but doom scrolling is actually really bad. And it shouldn't be, because it's just the act of using the internet, scrolling, consuming content, consuming news, consuming information. Like, it shouldn't be that bad, but it is. And unfortunately, we're all experiencing it. But it's inevitable because the internet is more addictive than ever, and we are not equipped as human beings to resist the temptation. So we're all sort of fighting this bad habit together, which is sort of beautiful, but again, unfortunate, because doom scrolling sucks and makes us all feel like shit. And it really made me feel like shit a few years ago, to the point where I took extreme measures. I bought a second phone. I downloaded all of the addictive social media apps onto that phone, and then decided to keep that phone in a drawer unless I really needed it, to maybe post something on social media, or every once in a while to check in on my loved ones and but other than that, the phone's in the drawer. And I will say, it really helped me. Like, I can confidently say that I've kicked the doom scrolling habit for the most part. Am I perfect at it? No. Like, once a month, do I find myself doom scrolling again? Yes. And is it miserable? Yes. But I will say, I've gotten really good at avoiding it. But listen, buying a second phone didn't fully solve the problem, right? Because then the issue arises of like, well, why don't I just go get the phone out of the drawer? Like, how do I prevent myself from taking that step? I mean, luckily, the fact that it's in a drawer is an added step that prevents it. But then what happens if I'm feeling really motivated to doom scroll and I want to go get it out of the drawer? What then? I learned to pivot, find a different activity to go do instead, something that's a little bit more productive. And that's helped me a lot, because don't get me wrong, I still have moments where I want to go get my phone out of the drawer. And sometimes I do. On really low discipline days, I go grab the phone. But for the most part, I've learned to pivot. And I pivot, again, as I said, to a different activity. And in today's episode, I'm going to be giving you some inspiration for some activities that you can pivot to when you want to doom scroll, specifically during the summertime, because where I live, it's summer right now. And there's nothing more depressing than sitting on your phone all day when it's gorgeous outside. The sun is out. The UV is up and you're inside on your phone. No, that is so depressing. Okay, during the winter, doom scrolling to me is less depressing. It's still unfortunate, but it's less depressing because it's cold out and the alternative activities aren't that different to doom scrolling. Like what? Have a movie marathon on the TV, crack a book. Like, I don't know. It kind of feels the same. It's particularly unfortunate to doom scroll during the summertime because the summertime should be joyful. It's warm. There's so many more activities to participate in. There is no reason to be sitting inside doom scrolling on your phone. I did another episode like this a few months ago, maybe like 8 months ago now, like last September, just giving random things to do instead of doom scrolling on your phone. This episode is specifically for summer. These are summer specific activities to get you off your fucking phone, okay? So that you can feel good and stop overloading your mind with too much information. So without further ado, these are things to do instead of doom scrolling during the summer. I briefly interrupt this episode to let you know that this episode of Anything Goes is presented by Walmart. Summer's back, baby, which means a whole new wardrobe. Thankfully, you can find trends that speak to you for less at Walmart. For me, summer is about simplicity and comfort because warm weather is pleasant, but only if you dress properly for it. So I'm trying to wear breathable but cute clothing all summer long. From casual hangs to vacation, Walmart's the place to find all your summer pieces. Think chic eyelet styles, breezy dresses, it girl shoes, vibrant colors, and more. Shop the hottest summer trends and new drops at walmart.com/trends. That's walmart.com/trends. Now back to the episode. We all have that dusty, empty fruit bowl in our house, sitting on the counter, just begging for some fresh produce. But I'm someone who gets into a routine with what I'm eating, and I eat the same things every day. And a lot of times they're easy to prepare because I don't like things that are too complicated. And a lot of stuff like I end up keeping in the fridge or whatever. And so my fruit bowl usually looks pretty sad because like a bunch of fresh fruits, it's not always in my rotation, right? That's like a nice thing to have around that I definitely will eat if it's there, but it's not often in my routine. Do you know what I mean? Depends. It depends on what phase of my life that I'm in. But all this to say, my fruit bowl is usually dusty and empty with like one lemon in it and like one little old dried up piece of ginger that I like had from when I was drinking a lot of lemon ginger tea. You know what I mean? But it's dried up. It is. It's dried up and it's gross and it's like unedible at this point. And if you look close, there's probably mold. There are so many delicious fruits ripe during the summer. Instead of doom scrolling on your phone, why don't you go to your local farmer's market? Or if you don't have a local farmer's market, go to your favorite grocery store and pick out a bunch of seasonal fruit. Okay, I'm talking about peaches, plums, nectarines, cherries, blackberries, strawberries, I think watermelons in season. You can look up a list of all the fruits that are in season during the summer. Buy a bunch of beautiful seasonal fruit that are in season. Okay, it's summertime. Let's lean into it and fill that fruit bowl. Please wipe it out first though, because if your fruit bowl looks like mine on an average day, it is dusty. There's a little bit of mold in it from old fruits that got moldy and I didn't wipe it out. Let's clean the bowl. Then fill it up with beautiful fruit. And then for the next week or so, now you have a beautiful fruit bowl to have fruit from as a snack for the week. Yum. Something I really love to do is make a really aesthetically beautiful fruit plate, especially during the summer. And I like to sit outside and I like to eat it. There's something about that is so magic to me. And like when the sun warms the fruit a little bit, so it's like really juicy and it doesn't hurt your teeth because it's not cold. Like if you have fruit in the fridge, it's like cold and hurts your teeth. But if you let it sit in the sun for a second while you're eating it, it like gets warm and like jammy. Oh my God, what a delight. So indulge in some seasonal fruit instead of doom scrolling on your phone. Kind of in the same world, another thing you could do is go to your local farmer's market if you have one, or a local grocery store, and pick out a bunch of fresh flowers, okay? If you don't have any sort of receptacles for flowers, my recommendation would be go buy a 12-pack of mason jars because it's like the perfect size to fill with flowers and they look cute and like somewhat rustic. And you can buy a bunch of flowers that match your personality, okay? If you're a tulip type of person, I don't know if tulips are in season during the summer. If you're a tulip person, get tulips. These flower arrangements are for you. They're for no one else. If you like daisies, get some daisies. Pick out a bunch of eclectic, fun flowers that match your personality and spend the afternoon making little flower arrangements, perhaps in mason jars or in anything that you have at your home that would work, and pop them around the house. I love having fresh flowers in my house. It's definitely a high effort sort of thing, but it's so rewarding. It brings joy. Every time you see your little flower arrangement, you're going to smile. You're going to smile. And they don't need to be extravagant. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to feel like you. Honestly, a really fun afternoon craft that keeps giving. It's like a little craft that keeps on giving because your house is going to look beautiful for the next like 2 weeks with all these flowers. How wonderful. Okay, moving on. Open all the doors. Actually, don't do that because somebody might walk into your house. Actually, don't open all the doors. Open all the windows Get the breeze brushing through the house and figure out an elaborate dessert, summer dessert that you want to make. Okay? Sit at your dining room table and ask yourself, what summer dessert sounds the most delicious right now? Now, you might discover upon some reflection that you're craving cherry pie. You might discover upon reflection that you're craving a lemon bar. I don't fucking know. Is that a summer dessert? I don't know. Brainstorm a summer dessert and then find a recipe. Go online, look at a cookbook in your house, find a recipe, go to the store, buy everything, come home, make sure those windows are still open. Hopefully you close them when you went to the store, and then you're going to reopen them now that you're home and you're ready to bake. Bake an elaborate dessert from scratch. No box mix, okay? If you want to distract yourself from your phone for multiple hours, no box mix. From scratch. Everything. Do it by hand. I recently did this a few months ago in a big way for my birthday, and I made a YouTube video about it, how I made a birthday cake. I was so consumed in that experience. I was so in it. I didn't think about my phone for, like, I'm not kidding, 8 hours, because it took me so long to make that cake, and I also fucked up halfway through and had to start over. So, I mean, it probably wouldn't have taken 8 hours, but it did for me because I'm I don't want to call myself an idiot, but I'm tempted because it was really like, I forgot the sugar. How do you forget the sugar in a cake? I know, I'm asking myself the same thing. But I was so consumed by that project that I didn't go on my phone. I didn't listen to music. Like, I didn't do anything. I was fully in that experience. And it was actually so rewarding because there's just something magical about really getting lost in a task. And I think baking has that ability because it is kind of hard, to be honest, especially if you're making something fully from scratch. And you can really get into flow state with it, even if you're not a natural born baker, because I definitely am not. Set the mood and make an elaborate dessert from scratch. Okay, next, another idea. Again, open all the windows, put on some music, set a vibe, set a real good summery vibe. Let the outdoors in, right? And do some productive shit around the house that you've been avoiding, okay? I'm talking about open up your makeup drawer, take out all your makeup brushes, and please wash them. It's been too long. I'm talking to myself here because I have not washed my makeup brushes in like 3 months, and it is getting gross. And honestly, maybe this weekend I'll open all the windows and I'll put on a tank top and I'll wash my makeup brushes. Maybe. Honestly, that sounds kind of delightful. Another thing you could do is clean your AirPods. I know that they're filled with earwax. Please get out a Q-tip and like some rubbing alcohol or something. I don't know how you clean them. You should Google that so that you don't ruin them. But get a Q-tip in the least and get in there and clean them up. Can I be honest? I need to do this. Again, I think I'm kind of subconsciously just listing things that I need to do. Clean up your AirPods. Another thing you could do is cosplay as a professional organizer for yourself. Choose a room in your house and pretend like it's not your room. Pretend that you were hired by yourself to organize your room, whatever room you want. And then go in there and make it perfect, okay? Let's say you choose your bedroom, more specifically, maybe your closet. Go in there, fold everything perfectly, and put everything in rainbow order. Like, my closet is in somewhat of rainbow order. It starts at white, then it goes to like yellow and creamy stuff, then it goes to red. I have like a certain order that I do that I don't really know why I do it, but I do. Then it goes to red, then it goes to green, then it goes to blue, then it goes to purplish, then it goes to brown, then it goes to black. Put it in order. Look up a tutorial of how to fold things professionally and fold things professionally. Maybe you choose your pantry. You don't need to go out to the store and buy, a bunch of like fancy containers to organize your pantry, but just make everything look nice as though you're a professional organizer. And you don't need to do your whole house. Because let me tell you, if you are like about to doom scroll on your phone and then you're like, oh fuck, what should I do? What should I do? I need to like pivot and do something else. And then you're like, all right, I'm going to go organize my entire house. You're going to end up getting frustrated like an hour in, and you're going to end up doom scrolling. So don't be too ambitious, all right? Choose one room Spend 45 minutes to an hour on it. And if you keep doing that every once in a while when you want to doom scroll, if you pivot to organizing a room like you're a professional organizer, over the course of a few months, your whole house is going to be in really good shape. Okay. Another thing you could do is walk around your home and find 10 things, or a number of your choosing. Maybe your lucky number 7. Okay. Choose 7 things that you no longer use anymore, or you no longer want to have around, or you think somebody else could get better use out of. And start a donate bin. I have a running donate bin in my house, and it's so helpful because every time I stumble upon maybe a piece in my closet or, an appliance in my kitchen that I don't use anymore, or is taking up too much space, and I think somebody else could get more use out of it, I put it in a donate bin in my house. It's easy to access. I just walk up to it and drop it in there. And what's nice about that is, like, sometimes when my friends come over, they look in the donate bin and they're like, "Oh, can I have this?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And at a certain point when it fills up and all my friends and loved ones have looked through and they're like, "All right, we're good," I go off and I donate it. And one man's trash is another man's treasure. So that could be kind of gorgeous for you. Okay, moving on from doing productive things around the house. Another thing you could do is go, ideally walk if it's close by, to a random little local place you've always been curious about but have never gone into, like a cafe or a casual restaurant or an ice cream shop or a park or an antique shop. Go somewhere in your neighborhood that you walk by all the time that you've just never gone into for some reason. We all have places like that in our neighborhood. Like, for example, for me, I've had a few of these instances. I drive by this watch shop like every day, literally every day. And eventually at a certain point, I got to go in because I needed help with a watch. And it was so fun because I was like, oh my God, like I've driven by this every day and I've never gone in. Now I have a reason, so it's fun. But even if I didn't have a reason, like, I've noticed that watch shop before, you know what I mean? And so it was really exciting to go in. But another occurrence like this for me was, there's like this little mom and pop sort of pharmacy gift shop thing near my house. And I've seen it again, like 100 times, but never gone in. And one afternoon I was bored and I went somewhere nearby and I was like, you know what? I have a few hours to kill. I have nothing better to do. I'm going to go in. And I just spent like a half hour in there farting around. And it was really enjoyable and it was exciting because, again, I see this place all the time and I've always been sort of curious about what's going on inside, and now I know. There's also been like little restaurants like that, in areas that I've lived where I've just seen the same place over and over again and never had a reason to go or never really been inspired to go. And in a moment when you want to be doom scrolling, maybe you'd be better off going and checking out one of those places, and you might discover a new favorite place. Or not. And then you might leave a negative Yelp review. So we'll see. Another thing you could do, don't judge me for suggesting this, but I think this is a delightful activity. Go bird watching at a nearby park. You don't need binoculars. You don't. Honestly, don't bring binoculars. That's like extra. I mean, you could, but you don't have to. Sit on a bench at a local park, put your headphones in, listen to some music, and just look at the birds. I love birds, okay? Birds to me might be my favorite genre of animal. Actually, I mean, I kind of love all animals, I guess, but I really love birds. Like, I have a weird affection for birds that I don't understand, but I just love them. Like ducks, pigeons. I mean, I really love ducks though. Well, I really love pigeons, but I really love ducks. Like, ducks are so cute because ducks are more snuggly to me. Like, I don't snuggle them. I am not like abusing them, but they're just more snuggly looking than a pigeon. So when I see a duck, I'm like warm and fuzzy inside. I can't take my eyes off of them because I just feel so warm when I look at them. Pigeons I love as well, but in a different way. I love them because they're always around. I mean, not always, but I'm often in city environments, so they're always around. And it just feels like little friends that are always around. Does that make sense? It's just comforting that they're there and they're always there. There's something so magical about just listening to some chill music and smiling softly at the soft feathers and peaceful demeanor of birds. Now, listen, if you don't have birds around you, maybe you have cows or pigs. I don't know. Like, find a place where you can see nature and wildlife and animals in their habitat and just watch them. There's something so, oh my God, watching cows, wonderful. Just as wonderful as watching birds. Like, if perhaps you live somewhere more rural, I mean, put out a little blanket and sit and watch cows. That's so awesome. And they can't fly away, which is nice. It sucks when you're loving watching birds and then they fly away. With a cow, it's not going to fly away. So if you live somewhere rural, consider yourself lucky. It reminds me of the one time that I looked out my window one day and looked in my pool and saw that there were 2 ducks in my pool, and I almost shit my pants. I was so excited. I was like, I'm about to watch these ducks for the next 6 hours. And then they flew away, like very quickly after I noticed them. So it was really depressing. But anyway, go animal watching and listen to some calm music and pay attention to the little weird things that they do. Like when they ruffle around their feathers, or when, if you're watching a cow, the cow like swats flies with their tail, and just enjoy that experience. And perhaps if you find that you're really enjoying animal watching, maybe more specifically bird watching, maybe you could teach yourself to make a birdhouse so that then you could bird watch at your house all the time. Okay? Birdhouses are so cute. Like, obviously it's fun because when a bird moves into one, it's like so riveting. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened to me yet. I have multiple birdhouses outside in my backyard, and not one bird has moved in yet. It has been years. And I also didn't make them. I bought them online. But if I ever am in a position down the line where I'm bored and I'm in the mood to do something kind of crafty, I might make a birdhouse. That kind of sounds fun. And if you don't have any birdhouses at your house, this might be an awesome little craft for you to get you off your phone. Okay? I have no clue what making a birdhouse entails. And honestly, it might not be a fun activity, but at least you thinking about, oh, maybe I could make a birdhouse. I really like birds. And then going online and researching it. That in itself, even just researching it, is getting you off your phone. Even if you decide, you know what, I'm actually just going to order like a cool homemade one on eBay or something, like, because that's kind of what I did a few years ago. Mine are all homemade or whatever. Even if you end up deciding that and like ordering one online, that's better than doom scrolling on your phone. You see what I mean? I briefly interrupt this episode to let you know that this episode is brought to you by State Farm. Insurance may all seem the same on the surface, but having insurance isn't the same thing as having State Farm. It's like getting a limp piece of lettuce on a bun when you ordered a vegan burger. You wouldn't settle for a soggy sandwich, so don't settle for just any insurance. When it comes to getting the help you need, State Farm is the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Now back to the episode. Another thing you could do is go for a walk. Get into a comfy walking outfit, like some soft workout shorts, a loose tank top, some soft socks, and your comfiest running shoes. Put some headphones in, go for a walk, and listen to an album that you've been meaning to listen to. We all have that album that we've been wanting to listen to in full, but just haven't gone around to. Instead of doom scrolling, go listen to that album. And while you're doing it, go for a little walk, and don't walk fast. I mean, unless you really want to. I feel like a lot of times we dread going for a walk because we're like, it's going to be like exhausting, and it should be exhausting. Like, if I'm going to go for a walk, I'm really going to walk. You don't have to do that. Go for a stroll. Go for a light stroll and listen to the album. And while you're listening to it, listen to it like you're a music critic. I really enjoy doing this. I find watching movies, listening to music, and thinking critically about it makes it even more fun for me and even more riveting for me. So maybe give it a try. Pretend that you're a music critic, analyze it deeply, and form a real opinion on it. And then perhaps you could send this album to other people in your life and you could discuss it with them too. It's fun to listen to music with intention. It's one thing to enjoy music just kind of peripherally, like relax, chill. It's in the background, whatever. But it can be really fun to really think about it. And it can be a good distraction. Okay, next. Another thing you could do is go on a walk, a stroll perhaps, and bring a camera if you have one. Or if you don't, just bring your phone. And try to take genuinely good images. And good is, what even is good? You know what I mean? But like, walk around and try to see interesting things in the world around you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, try to find interesting stuff and then take a photo of it. Like, if there's a really beautiful shadow on the roof of someone's house, zoom in, take a photo of that. If you see a really beautiful flower and there's like 2 bugs having sex on the flower, take a photo of that. If there's dog poop and it's shaped kind of like the Queen of England a little bit, take a photo of it. Like, just find things that are interesting and intriguing to you and take a photo of it. Do you know what I mean? Either try to compose beautiful images that have thoughtful composition and, good lighting, or take photos of things in a way that's funny. Like, find a bunch of things that look phallic. It doesn't matter. Just take a bunch of photos. There's something really, like, I feel like we're at a point now where we're all photographers. Do you know what I mean? Because, well, we're not all photographers, because I don't want to take away from the expertise that it takes to be a photographer. Because let me tell you, that is not an easy job to make things look good, especially like in a photo studio. You get what I'm saying? But everyone has access to a really good camera on their phone. Anyone can take good photos, It's the same thing with like, everyone's an entertainer, everyone's a photographer, everyone's a singer, everyone's everything. Everyone can be anything now because we all have access to the internet. And we all, for the most part, have phones. And we can do almost everything on our phone. Do you see what I'm saying? Due to the phone, even though it is the source of all evil, it is also the source of a lot of creativity as well. Can't deny that, So, I don't know. Could be fun to go on a walk and take cool photos. Ideally with a camera, though, because then, you're not on your phone. Ideally, to stop doom scrolling, you put your phone in your back pocket and you don't look at it again. But there's an exception in this one if you don't have a camera. But chances are you have some camera laying around in the house. Maybe. Okay, next. Sit outside somewhere, perhaps in your backyard, perhaps at a park, wherever. Sit in the shade under a tree, under the roof overhang thing at your house, if you have that. I don't know. Sit outside in the shade somewhere and clean up your playlists and make new ones. Basically, what I'm saying is perfect your music collection, okay? Re-examine the old playlists. Move things around, reorder songs, rename them, add a new cover image, add new music to certain playlists, delete songs that are starting to annoy you, perfect the existing playlists. And then when you're done with that, start making new ones. And take this seriously. This should be looked at as an art form for you, okay? Really, really dig into this. Come up with a really potent theme for the playlist. Like, it might be, maybe you want to name the playlist Summertime Sadness. Fuck yes. Tap into that emotion. All right, maybe you want to name the playlist Happy and Sad at the Same Time. Casey Musgraves inspired. And the first one was Lana Del Rey. Tap into a very specific emotion and make a super curated playlist, okay? Clean up your public music profile. Clean it up. Honestly, I'm long overdue to do this. I really need to get in there and like mainly perfect my old playlists, like add new music, delete some stuff, like really get in there. The reason why this is a fun thing to do is because it's something that you get to enjoy later, right? Like next time you're driving around in the car, great. Now you have a perfectly curated playlist that's up to date, no skips. You know what I mean? It's kind of awesome. Next time you have people over, you know exactly what playlist to put on because you have the perfect playlist for everything now because you spent an afternoon a few weeks ago not doom scrolling, but instead perfecting your playlists. And now you get to reap the benefits. Another fun thing you could do sitting outside in the shade somewhere is read book and movie reviews. Okay. If you've never done this, it's quite fun. I did this somewhat recently. And there are many different websites and places where you can do this. So, find your preferred option. But like I know, for example, for books, right? I use Goodreads to read reviews on books. And, I've looked up books that I've been recommended on there. I've looked at like curated lists that are made already automatically on the app. And from there, I've made lists of books I want to read one day based on the reviews, based on what the app suggests for me, etc. Or not maybe what the app suggests for me, but what I've found through sort of searching through the app and what kinds of curated lists they have. And I've made lists, and it's fun because even though I'm not a huge reader, like I love reading. I actually just got kind of back into reading recently because a book really intrigued me, which just hasn't happened in a while. And I got really sucked in immediately, and, it's been wonderful, but that's not always the case. But I have these moments where I'm really craving reading. And those moments are really fleeting for me. So if I don't hop on it and get a book quickly when I'm in the mood to read, the moment will pass and I will not read a book. You know what I mean? So when I feel it, I need to figure it out quick. And that's why it's so nice to have a list, because when I'm in the mood, I have a list to refer to. And it, I think, naturally just makes me want to read more. But you could do the same exact thing with movies. I actually haven't done this with movies yet, but you could. And it's a whole lot better than doom scrolling, that's for sure. That could be a really fun little outdoor activity, sitting outdoors and making book and movie lists. Come on. Doesn't that sound nice? Another thing you could do is lay out in the sun with sunscreen on. Let's be responsible here, okay? With sunscreen on. And listen to a how-to podcast on a hobby or craft you want to try, or an educational podcast episode about something that you've been wanting to learn about that might be beneficial to your life in some way. I've found that learning casually like this can be very inspiring and empowering, especially if you're someone who struggles with starting hobbies or struggle with digging into interests. I have really struggled with that in the past, and I found that one of the best ways to get into it is to start really slow by just listening to people talk about it, because inevitably you'll start learning about it. Like, I really love cooking and baking. I really enjoy it. I think because I've spent so many years watching cooking shows and cooking videos to the point where I actually slowly but surely accumulated enough knowledge where now it's actually something I feel really confident in. Like, even though I'm not super good at it, and I definitely don't like bake very often, I cook. I mean, I cook a lot, but it's not like complicated stuff. But I do cook every day. But I really enjoy doing it. And I feel like I got to a place where I felt like, oh, I feel empowered to do this. And I feel like I know enough to do this, all because I enjoyed watching people do it. So if you have been wanting to get into painting, for example, listen to a podcast interview with a painter. You know, if you have been wanting to get into playing instruments, listen to a podcast interview with somebody who plays instruments. If you've been wanting to learn about biology, listen to a 5-part series on biology podcast. You see what I'm saying? Like, just start exposing yourself very casually to information about the topic or the hobby or the subject, and you'll start to become more and more familiar with it, and it'll make trying it less scary and much easier because you actually have information now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think this type of content is overall net positive and relaxing, but also it is mindless. You know, you get to kind of disappear into it, but there's a net positive impact on your life. And perhaps it'll inspire you to actually participate in the hobby or the craft or the subject that you're interested in. Maybe it'll inspire you to dig deeper into it more actively after you listen to it. Like if you listen to a tutorial on how to watercolor, maybe once you're done laying in the sun listening to the episode, you go to an art store and pick out some stuff and then come home and open all the windows again because it's the summertime and the windows should be open, and you do a watercolor. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what this could spark for you. Another thing you could do is look up a 10-minute yoga flow video on YouTube. Find a nice place in the shade or in your home with the windows open because it's the summer, so open the windows, and do a little 10-minute yoga, okay? I'm fully into yoga, although the yoga that I do is like a yoga class, and it's not fully yoga. It's like yoga sculpt, you know, as they call it. So it's kind of like yoga Pilates fusion, but there's a lot of yoga elements in it, and I absolutely love it. Like, I really love the yoga element of it. And sometimes when, I don't know, I feel like it, I'll just pop down randomly anywhere and like do a little yoga. You know what I mean? Just for funsies. Like sometimes if I'm just feeling sore or I've been sitting all day, I'll just find the nearest carpet in my house and like do yoga for a few minutes, you know? It feels really good. What it really is, it's like giving a massage to yourself. That's really what it feels like. And let me tell you, yoga is so relaxing that if you turn on like a quick little 10-minute yoga tutorial, by the end of it, you won't be thinking about your phone anymore. You're going to be thinking about how peaceful you feel. So do that instead of doom scrolling, okay? Another thing you could do is do a handstand. And even better, you could try to do it for a long time. Then Google how to do a handstand for a long time and listen to the tips they give and attempt them. Keep trying until you get so exhausted and hungry that you barely remember that your phone exists. I actually love doing a handstand randomly. I mean, I was a cheerleader and a gymnast. I was a gymnast when I was very young, though, so I don't really count that as much. I was really a competitive cheerleader. So I had to do a lot of handstands in my life, but that doesn't mean I'm good at them, because I'm not. That was actually one of my weak points. Like, a lot of the girls on my cheer team could do like a 10-minute handstand, and I could barely do 10 seconds. I don't know what it is about me. I cannot do a long handstand, but every once in a while I'll try, and I'll just be walking around my house and all of a sudden I'll be like, fuck it, handstand right now. Fuck it. And I'll do a handstand. And then next thing I know, it's been 20 minutes. And I've been trying to do a handstand for as long as I can. If you're doom scrolling on your phone right now, put the phone down and do a handstand and try to be good at it. And I can promise you it'll make you forget about your phone. And you'll be exhausted by the end of it. And you might even be hungry. And if you are hungry, well, have no fear, because I have another thing that you could do instead of doom scrolling. After you've done your handstands and you're exhausted, listen to this. Look online for an elaborate Erewhon level smoothie recipe. Okay, I'm talking Hailey Bieber smoothie level. I'm talking there's avocado in it, there's coconut, there's blueberry, there's boysenberry, there's rhubarb. It's like look up like an elaborate smoothie recipe that's like a delicacy, like a smoothie delicacy recipe. Now go to the store, buy the ingredients, come home, make that fancy ass Erewhon bougie smoothie yourself and make it cute. Put it in your favorite cup. Smear some like strawberry jam on the side of your cup, like sprinkle cacao nibs on the top, okay? Make that thing look pretty and then sit outside and drink it. And I know what you're thinking. Emma, you didn't mention taking a photo of the smoothie. I know that. Here's the thing. You're allowed to take a photo, but after you take a photo, you close the phone, put it face down on your bed or somewhere, and walk outside, no phone, and drink the smoothie in silence, no phone, no sounds. That's my opinion, okay? That's what I think you should do. You can post a picture of it later when you are in a place where you're not going to doom scroll. When you're at, like mentally, when you're at a place where I'm not going to doom scroll. I can post something on my Instagram right now and not get sucked in. Then you can maybe post it, but later. Because right now you're fighting the urge. So don't get sucked back in because you want to post a picture of your Erewhon looking smoothie. I know you're proud of it, but you can wait until you've had discipline for long enough where you're like, okay, I can handle this. I can post this on Instagram and not go and stalk my ex again. No, don't do that. Okay. Another thing you could do is start a puzzle. I think there is nothing more summer vibes than a puzzle. I love a summer puzzle. Again, there's something about windows open, breeze flowing through the home, and a puzzle going on a table somewhere. To me, that's summer. Like during the summers when I was a kid, I would go to Maine. Well, not for the whole summer, but for like 2 weeks. And my dad was there, my grandma, my grandpa, sometimes some cousins. And we would always have a puzzle going. And it would be like one of those things where, like, after breakfast, fuck it, spend an hour on the puzzle. Before dinner, fuck it, spend an hour on the puzzle. At 11 p.m., can't sleep, fuck it, an hour on the puzzle. You know what I mean? And it's this thing that during a slow summer can kind of kill some time in between activity in such a beautiful way. And, listen, puzzles, what are you really getting done, right? Nothing. But you're strengthening the brain and you're ultimately experiencing a level of tranquility that can only be found through doing a puzzle. There's something about a puzzle that seems sort of dreadful before you start it. And listen, some puzzles are dreadful. It depends. Ideally, for this to work, get a good puzzle that's not impossible to complete, okay? But I think a lot of times we dread a puzzle because it's like, oh my God, it's so boring. It's like, you're just trying to put the pieces together. Like, it just sounds boring, right? Like, I love puzzles, and even I sometimes think of a puzzle and I'm like, ew, I don't want to do a puzzle. But every time I do a puzzle, I'm like, wow, this is one of the most peaceful, relaxing things I've ever done. And it is sort of a subtle brain workout. But I think it's nice to have a puzzle out during the summer because there are a lot of slow moments. Actually, it's nice to have a puzzle out during the winter too, because there are also a lot of slow moments. Maybe puzzles are year-round activities, but they're really good during the summer. And maybe if you have a puzzle going, every time you want to doom scroll, you have to put one piece in the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Like, come up with your own little puzzle strategy to get you to not doom scroll. But I think puzzles could be a tool. Another thing you could do. Now, this is fun. Okay. Plan a dinner party for just yourself or for you and your loved ones or for you and 100 people. I don't care. Plan a dinner party of any size based on your dream summer vacation destination. Okay. If you want to go to Italy, if that's your dream, well, then you need to curate an Italian summer dinner. Let's say you want to go to Cabo. Okay, Cabo summer dinner and do all the planning. Now, the good thing about this activity is that this is a time-consuming project. Planning a dinner party for even just yourself is like a whole ordeal, right? And this is a great thing because this can actually prevent you from doom scrolling for multiple days. So really indulge in this. You have to determine your theme. You have to plan it all out. You have to invite everyone if you're going to be inviting multiple people, figure out their availability. You have to find recipes. You have to shop for maybe a little bit of decor if you want, or for all the groceries that you're going to need. You have to set up your home for the party. This is a process. And listen, you might end up starting this process of planning this dinner party and then realize, I'm not going to fucking do this. And guess what? It doesn't even matter if you end up doing it because at least you're not doom scrolling anymore. At least now you're thinking about how to curate the perfect Italian dinner menu. You're trying to decide if you want to do bruschetta or you want to do, did I just say that with an Italian accent? The bruschetta. Or, you're figuring out like, do I want to do that? Or do I want to do like, what's another Italian appetizer? Or you're figuring out if you want to do focaccia, or you're figuring out if you want to do cacio e pepe versus a rigatoni. Like, you're just figuring it out. Oh, wait, I guess cacio e pepe could probably be done with rigatoni, although it usually isn't. Listen, I'm not the person to ask about this, but even if you end up like starting to plan it, whatever, and you don't end up doing it, it doesn't matter. The whole point is that you're not on your phone anymore. But also, I think dinner parties are so fun. And it's funny because my friends and I have been talking about hosting dinner parties for like months now. We're constantly like, wait, the new thing, dinner parties. This is the new thing because we don't really like going out as much anymore. but we want social interaction. So we've been discussing the concept of dinner parties. We have yet to host one. It has been months. But just the idea of it and talking about it and conceptualizing it is really fun. And one day maybe we'll do it, but it is a lot of work. And everybody's always busy. But you could even plan a themed dinner for like you and your best friend, or like you and your parents, or like you and your significant other. It doesn't need to be a dinner party. It could just be like a themed evening for funsies with you and a loved one. Like it doesn't need to be that big, but also it could be if you want. But that's a fun thing that'll get you off your phone. And last but not least, this is obvious. This is obvious, and that's why I saved it for last. But I have to say it because during the summer, this is always the best thing to do to get you off your phone. Call a friend. If they answer and they're down to hang, great. If not, okay, you're doing this a solo mission. This is a solo mission, but it is fun to invite a friend. Invite a friend, and if they're down, hop in the car, pick them up, roll the windows down, play music, particularly that has a summer vibe to it, particularly from the summer playlist you made earlier, perhaps, when you were avoiding doom scrolling earlier, and drive to the nearest body of water you can swim in. I don't care what it is. I don't care. As long as it's not going to give you some sort of like flesh-eating bacteria from swimming in it, swim in the body of water. Listen, it could be the public pool, the nearby public pool, community pool. But it could also be the Pacific Ocean. I don't care. Could be a lake. Could be a quarry. Ever heard of those? I don't even know exactly what a quarry is, but I have swam in one. But I still don't really know what it is. It's like a lake, but there's a lot of rocks, I think. Look into that, okay? If there's no community pool near you and no natural body of water, go to the store and buy an inflatable kiddie pool. I don't care. Get in the water. Get in water somehow. Outside. Get in the water. Find a way. It feels so good. You need to be in water. I think humans during the summer need to be in the water. And it doesn't matter what type. It literally doesn't. As long as the water is outside, it doesn't matter. If it means, honestly, if nothing else, open all the windows in your bathroom and fill your tub to being like a little bit less hot than normal. So it doesn't feel like you're not scorching in the tub. And just lay in it. Water, just get into some sort of body of water. Find one and get in. And if you're with a friend, great. If not, fuck it. Who cares? You can do it on your own. But get into water. That is it. That's all I got for today. Those are all of my ideas. Hopefully, the next time you're tempted to doom scroll, you either think of one of these things, or maybe you're just more inspired to come up with something that works for you to do instead. But I do think that one of the most important skills to learn when it comes to fighting the urge to doom scroll is to learn to pivot and do something else, and to not judge yourself for what you choose to do. Like if you choose to do a fucking handstand for 10 minutes, that's not even weird. It's actually not. Like I've done that. You know what I mean? Like I've been like, fuck it. I'm home alone. Let me just do a handstand. Do you know what I mean? Or like, fuck it. Like I'm going to make a mood board for like my dream dinner party with recipes and all that. Like as long as you're not, anything is better than doom scrolling for the most part. So I encourage you to learn to pivot. It takes time. It's a process, but having ideas of what to do instead, I think is really helpful. And so hopefully this helped a little bit in some way, at least inspire you. I wish you luck on your journey to fighting doom scrolling. Hey, maybe you've already fought the battle. And if you have, good on you. But I don't think the battle ever ends. So, anywho, thank you all for listening and hanging out. It's always a pleasure and it's always so much fun. And if you enjoyed it, new episodes of Everything Goes. Oh my God, I almost said Everything Goes. Wait, that's actually like a fire podcast name, actually. Anything Goes is like more predictable. Everything Goes, it's kind of sick. Maybe I do a rebrand 2026. If you enjoyed this episode, new episode of Anything Goes every Thursday and Sunday. We can hang out. I'm here. You can find Anything Goes on the internet and on social media at Anything Goes. Although don't doom scroll to find me. I'm on the internet at Emma Chamberlain as well. And my coffee company is on the internet and in the world as Chamberlain Coffee. I'm going to go do a handstand. That sounds really appealing to me. So I think I'm just going to go do a handstand for the next 20 minutes. And I will talk to you all in a few days. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I hope that you have a wonderful summer with your phone turned face down on the table while you're outside drinking the Erewhon smoothie that you made. You know what I mean? I want that for you. Okay. I love you all. And I will talk to you very soon. And goodbye.